Shalom, y'all. Welcome to Chichi Global, and I'm Chichi. And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about millionaire habits. But before we get started, I want to go ahead and take the time to thank all of my subscribers that have subscribed to this channel. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for watching the videos and hitting the like button and also hitting that bell notification so that you can be notified every time I put out a video. So thank you so much. And just a short introduction, and I am a international mindset, motivation, and money coach. And if you are interested in any of those topics, you have come to the right place, okay? So let's get back to the video. Millionaire habits. I'm going to be looking a little bit to my right, your left, because my notes are on my computer, so please forgive me if I look off. But we're going to get into this topic. And before we get into the habit side, we have to understand the mind of a millionaire. How do they think, or what is the understanding of the mind itself, right? So let's just get into a quick quote. And this is by Winston Churchill. And it says, "The pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. The optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty." Isn't that amazing? That's how you can tell. You can look at someone and say, okay, are they thinking negative or are they thinking positive? Let me read it again. It says, "The pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. The optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty." That means that there's two sides to every situation, okay? And it's just the way that we decide to take a look at it, right? So we're talking about millionaire mind, and it's how you see the opportunity, or it's how you see the difficulty that is before you, right? And so let's talk about the word mind. Let's get a working definition of what does the word mind mean. You know, we talk about the mind all the time, but what is it? Where is it? How does it work? Well, if you look into the Merriam-Webster's dictionary, and it's the 1828 version, it says the mind means memory or recollection. It says the mind means your memory or your recollection, what you can remember. The definition is still used today in phrases like call to mind, to remember, and keep in mind, right? It is also used in the sense of to remember something. So we know that the mind has a lot to do with the memory and how we go into the files of our mind. We go into the past parts of our mind and we pull up information. It's our recall system. It's our memory system, okay? But the word also comes from an old English word that's gemind, which also means memory. The original meaning of the word mind is therefore more specific than its current meaning. It simply means to refer to the ability to remember things. So the current meaning is the ability to remember things. It's how you are able to go and recollect these things. Over time, the meaning of the word mind has expanded to refer to the faculty of thought, feeling, and will. So over the past years, it's expanded to your thoughts, your feelings, and your will. All right. This is the meaning of the word that is mostly common used today. Your thoughts, your feelings, and your will, and your ability to remember or recollect things, your memory, is all part of what the mind is about. It encompasses the word mind. It says the thinking facility, the understanding, the intellectual powers in general, the consciousness or feeling of one's own existence and mental operations, the attention or the application of the thoughts to a particular subject, the opinion or the judgment formed by a person, the intent or purpose, the disposition or temper, the will or the soul. So you can see that there's quite a few ways that we can kind of look at the mind and what it is and how it operates, right? And we can begin to understand why people do the things that they do, but most importantly, why do we act the way we do, right? The word mind can be used in many different ways depending upon the context. For example, we might say, "I'm losing my mind," to express what? Frustration. So we're using the words to express, where our feelings and emotions are. Or maybe we're expressing an anxiety moment. That's why we say that. There's another one that says she has a good mind, to mean that she is intelligent, she's smart, right? We might also say I'm open-minded, to mean that we are willing to consider new ideas, okay? And then one last one is she has a one-track mind. We've heard that a lot. That means that she is focused on one thing. And that's kind of how we all need to be. Focused on one thing at a time. I hear a lot of people talk about multitasking, but that splits your mind. So really, I think it means that you be double-minded. That's why you're not stable, because you're split in your attention, your feelings, your thoughts. And so therefore, you're multitasking, which you're multi-minded. We're only instructed to do one thing at a time. That's all we can focus on to do it well. You have to focus on one thing at a time. So I would assume that one-track mind people are on the right track. Okay, so we have concluded the word mind to mean your thoughts, your memories, your feelings, your emotions, and how you remember things, recall things, recollect things. That has all to do with the mind. So the mind plays a huge role in our lives, right? It plays a huge role in our attitude and what we're going to let play out on the screen or the television screen of our life. Our mind plays a big role in it. And once again, remember that quote by Winston Churchill about the mind. And he says, the pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity, but the optimist sees opportunity in every what? Difficulty. So therefore, we have to remember, it is how we are seeing things. It is how the mind is set. It is how you have set the mind. It is how the course that you have the mind on. Your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions, where are they going? That has to do with the mind, okay? And the mindset. Let's move on to the word mind in Hebrew. The mind, what does the Bible say about the mind? Well, the word mind in Hebrew is leb. It is a complex word with a wide range of meanings that can include the heart, the mind, the spirit, the will, the emotion, the understanding, the discernment, intention. The Hebrew word leb is often used to refer to the heart, but it is not the same as the physical organ. The heart in the Hebrew Bible is often used as a metaphor for the mind, the will, and the emotions. So let's just look at, how the Creator has initially described the mind itself, the will, the emotions. Remember, we talked about feelings. All that has to do with the mind. The will, the emotions, the understanding, the discernment, the intent, all that has to do with the mind itself. So keep those things in mind, as we study getting into habits, because the mind has a lot to do with what you are habitually doing. What are you doing on a daily basis has a lot to do with your mind and your mindset. Therefore, we need to take a look at what our Creator is saying about the mind, right? Because He created the mind, so He knows, about us. He knows everything about us. He knows how we were made. So we have to take it back to the original destination of the Creator Himself to find out what did He say about the mind. And according to the Hebrew, definitions, is saying that the mind has a lot to do with the heart, the mind, the spirit, the will, the emotion, the understanding, discernment, and intention has a lot to do with the mind. Okay. Now let's look and see what the Bible says about the mind. It says, Proverbs 4:23, some of you have probably heard this over and over again. Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it springs the issues of life. Okay, the heart has a lot to do with the mind. We just read what the Hebrew words define the heart and the mind working together. This verse suggests that our thoughts or our feelings and our actions all flow from the heart. Okay, the heart and the mind work together. The word leb, which is the mind, which is also refers to the heart. So if you look at the word leb, you're also looking at the word heart and mind. Proverbs 16:19 says that the mind of a man plans his way, but the Most High directs his steps. Proverbs 16:19, the mind of a man plans his way, but the Most High directs his steps. This verse suggests that our minds can plan our way, but ultimately it's the Most High who directs our steps. It's the Creator. He will direct our steps. So when we take a look at the mind is very rich in its meaning, because the mind actually means the same thing as the heart. The Hebrew word lev is rich and complex, and it captures the full range of the human's thoughts, feelings, and intention. It is a word that is essential to the Bible. So here's a quote by Aristotle. It says, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but a habit. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but it is a habit. And we're going to get into breaking down that word habit so that we can really understand the mind of a millionaire, because they have a certain mindset. They have a certain way that they think. They have a certain way that they're doing things. And they have also freed themselves from past, failures and past disappointments and past difficulty. And they've moved on to understand that there are opportunities, but within those opportunities, it can be a little difficult. But if you keep your eyes on the prize, it doesn't matter the difficulty of the way, as long as you keep your mind set to complete what you started, right? And to complete what you started, you have to have good habits. So with that being said, thank you for hanging around. This is part 1 of Millionaire Habits. We just wanted to get into the definition of the word mind, get you to understand what mind is, how it operates, what the actual creator is saying about the mind, so that you can really understand the composition of what the mind is. It's your thoughts, it's your feelings, it's your emotions, it's your intentions, it's your attitudes, it's how you feel about the things that are around you, the people that are around you, the tasks that you have to complete, the business that you started, the customers that you have. It's all about your intent, your mind, and how it is set. So in our next video, we're going to get into the definition of habit, and we're going to dig into the word habit so that you can understand how the mind and habits work together. And then we're going to get into some tips on the millionaire habit, how the millionaires act, what are they thinking on a daily basis, what are some of the things that are important to them. Okay, so until next video, shalom, y'all.